maybe even subconsciously in cases, but we're really thoughtful about putting this position in the best place it can for all the future reform that's coming. I'm really excited about the reorganization of the agency. It's not going to take people from what they're doing now, but really just structuring in a way that puts us in the future for where we need to be to serve this county. So I'm really proud of my staff.
And Ms. Cryer, Supervisor McCallum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to backtrack just a bit and request that you provide the board with your list of issue areas that the scope of services for the mental health administrative contracts, they're going to be reviewed. You had indicated, and you read off a list of 10 or 12 items that would be part of that review when we were discussing mental health. And you were also discussing, administrative changes.
Well, two separate.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to be conscious of the time. Two separate issues a little bit. The ASO contracts are new. In the third year.
I'm very aware.
We continue to get concerns, issues, complaints about the way those contracts are done. So the thought is, let's look at those contracts, not the contracts. Let's look at the scope and put those back out to bid. Not that there's anything, I'm not making a statement that the contractors currently are doing anything wrong. I'm saying if we're still getting complaints about the way those contracts are written and the way the scopes are laid out, then we've got to relook at that and see if we can do the scope in a different way. The service delivery is going all right. We're seeing improvements. It's really just how the administrative portion is being laid out and managed is my guess. So we need to look at the whole scope. So I'd like the two board members to participate in reviewing the scope of service and putting those contracts back out for RFP.
And when would you expect them to be put back out?
I would like to be in front of this board prior to January asking for two board members to participate in a task force. I do not have a firm timeline of how long that project would take and when we together would want to look at moving those contracts into an RFP. And we would have to work with the existing, we have to be very conscious, of course, of no disruption of services and working with the current contractors, and I don't want any of the current contractors in the room or outside to think that we're terminating their contracts. That's not the case. I think we need to look at the scopes and start again.
Understood, but you did, I believe, tick off a list of maybe 10 or 12 issues that would be reviewed as part of the review of the scope.
I think I had gone to the next section of my presentation, which you're supposed to talk about. Of course, I can't find it. You're supposed to talk about budget concerns, and we had kind of a list that we were supposed to talk about. So I think I had kind of gone on to the next page.
Okay, so then maybe I did conflate those, but again, I'd appreciate
some thoughts
if you
around
have
that.
the opportunity to reduce that to a form that you'd be comfortable giving it to the board.
Sure, I'll work on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's either going to hit the little thing
or Supervisor McCallum. No, I'm teasing.
I'm done.
So, you have anything else?
No, thank you. Thank you for your time and your support.
Thank you. What? We did do public comment earlier.
Just not on
Maybe
the welfare.
We might have more. Anyone from the public want to further comment? If so, please come forward. Seeing none, Ms. Angelo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just two comments. One is that the agency is about 9 years old now, which is hard to believe that it's that old. And I want to really compliment Ms. Cryer for taking a look at the structure and trying to have the structure of the agency and the services meet the needs of the community today. So I think that point got somewhat missed in the discussion around mental health, because that is a huge issue right there, as far as asking the board in January for an ad hoc committee and then looking at the statement of work.
Sure.
But not to negate the fact that the agency itself, their leadership, and the staff are all looking at that formation and what structure works. The last comment is that regarding mental health services, remember that the statement of work that was put out for those contracts is there, it's made up of mandates, state mandates. So I think in reviewing the statements of work, it will really be, what are those mandates? Are we meeting those mandates?
Today.
It's not the services that we particularly want, it's based on what those mandates are. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. So, thank you, Stacy.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I made things unclear.
No, that's wonderful. Okay, it looks like we are adjourning and for today, pardon? Okay. I should say we're recessing because we have an ongoing public hearing process, and we will have continue the public hearing tomorrow at 9 a.m. and that is September 9th. So recessing until tomorrow morning.